Hey guys, are you getting your vehicle going into limp mode? And when you check your codes, you're getting code P1776 or possibly P1775. Solenoid switch valve latched in the LR position, right? That's what the code reader's telling you. Well, in this video, we are working on the 42RLE transmission, guys. This transmission is in tons and tons of vehicles. In the description, there'll be a list of all the vehicles that it's in. The process will basically be the same. There's a few minor variations of like sensors and things, but otherwise the process is going to be exactly the same. So the solenoid switch valve, guys, it is located right here, guys, inside of the valve body, guys. So in this video, I am going to show you how to fix that, where to get a new one, how to do it, what size, everything you need to know, and then how to put it all back together, guys. So what I'm actually going to do, guys, is I'm going to take you into the past when this thing was still in the vehicle, and I'm going to show you the whole process right from the beginning. Specifically in my case, I am working on a 2004 Jeep Wrangler. But like I said, this transmission is in lots and lots of different vehicles, and the process will be the same.
So I'm taking you into the past right now!
Whoa! Okay, guys, we are in the past when all of this is beginning. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do. Okay, so that is the front of your vehicle, right? Depending on what you're working on, but this is basically the same on all of them. Okay, so here's the transmission, right? So you will notice right over here, look, there is a plug. So there's a plug there. Sometimes, depending on the year, there's two plugs on this side, one there, and then there's one right here. So you need to unplug both of those, or just the one if you have the one on this side. So that's very, very simple, right? The second thing you gotta do is this shift linkage here. See this? So you gotta remove this. There's a bolt, you unscrew that bolt, and then this will just come right off. Pretty straightforward, right? So that's what you do on this side. On the other side, let's go over there. Okay, there's the front of the vehicle. So on this side, there is your transmission. So depending, there is some variations where there might be like a subframe in the way that you have to remove. In this Jeep, you do not. So over here, look, there is another plug. See it? Right there, that one. So on this side, you have to unplug that plug. See, if you look over here, it's like directly in this spot, right up there. So you unplug that, very, very easy, very straightforward. So I'm gonna unplug all those plugs, and then the next thing you're gonna do is, you might have a drain plug, you might not, but you're gonna unplug those plugs, then you're gonna grab a container, and you're gonna pull this pan off. So I'm gonna do all that, guys. I will see you guys probably in about 15 minutes when all of that is removed, and then I will show you what's next. Okay, guys, so everything is disconnected. See, just like I said, that's disconnected. The plug is disconnected. If you got two plugs, you would have two plugs disconnected. Okay, so now this thing here, right? So the vehicle is in park right now. Chuck your wheels, because once you turn this, the vehicle goes into like neutral, so it can roll on you. Also disconnect your battery so somebody doesn't try to start it, because if this is in the wrong position, the vehicle will start to drive. So this is what you gotta do now. You gotta grab this with a pair of pliers and watch this. So right now it's in park. So then you go reverse, neutral, drive, second gear, first gear, and now there's like a secret gear. It's under first gear. There you go. That locks a pin inside, which allows you to drop the valve body, guys. Okay, I'm taking the pan off now. Obviously, clean your magnet inside. Clean it out good. I'm gonna try to show as little as possible here on this stuff because I have the other video which explains things much, much better. and in more detail of how to take this apart and how to get the valve body out. In this one, I'm kind of zipping through that until it's out, and then we'll get very specific. Okay, taking that off now. Okay, that's the front. Check it out. So I got the pan off, guys. So now there's two little torque spec screws here. One there, one there. I'm gonna remove those and I'm gonna drop the filter. It just comes down, pretty straightforward. See you guys in 1 minute. Okay, the filter is off. Okay, so now there is 10 millimeter hex bolts all over this thing on the outside, and there's a few random ones in the middle. So just the 10 millimeter ones, the hex ones, they look like that. Basically, you're gonna remove them all. Just leave yourself with like, see like this one here, for example. Leave that one in, like unscrew it, but just put it in like 2 turns, just so this doesn't fall out on you when you're not ready. So I'm gonna remove all of them and leave one in, just like a few hand turns in. Okay, see you guys in 5 minutes. Okay, that's the front. So now we're on the other side. So basically, okay, I got all the bolts out. This thing is ready to come out. If you've never taken it out before, it can be tough, especially when you get buildup on this, right? So what I did when I got it out the first time is I kind of tapped that with a hammer a little bit, but then the edge, there became like a lip on it, and that lip wouldn't go through right there. So I had to get a little dremel and I had to grind the little lip off. But this time around, this is just gonna come right out, guys. Like you could sand this thing around and clean it up so it comes out. But in my case, as soon as I grab this, it's just gonna come out. So I'm gonna do that off camera right now, or on camera, I mean. Oh yeah, and just wait until it all stops dripping and then put like a nice clean piece of cardboard or something under here. So when you put it down, it's not getting sand on it and crap. There is gonna be these 2 springs right here that are gonna wanna fall out, but honestly, I don't even care at this point. I just want this thing out. There it goes, guys. Okay, guys, here it is out, as you can see. Okay, let's take these things off. So that's how these were in there up top. So you got this, and then there's, see, 2 springs like that. This side, exact same thing, 2 springs like that. Sits on top of this weird nut on this side. Okay, so I'm gonna remove these, and then I'll show you guys. Okay, so here is our culprit right here, guys. It is that guy there. Right there. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we need to separate this bottom part from this top part. So we're gonna flip this thing up on its side, guys. And you'll notice there is hex screws here. See? So we're gonna remove all the ones that are underneath. Get it? All the ones that are underneath this square portion, so we can like take this off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, guys. I'll let you know if any of the screws are different lengths or anything. Obviously keep all your screws, label what they're for. Okay, so I'm doing that now. Okay, one more thing I forgot to mention. So yes, there is small variations here between different years, right? Like some of them I said had the 2 plugs, some of them have the 1, but this is the 42 RLE valve body, right? From the transmission. Some of them have like different valve electric things up top here, some of them don't, but this should be the same, right? So okay, I'm actually gonna do something different. So I got some torque specs. You're gonna need torque specs tools here, right? I'm gonna remove this nut here and this one, and I'm gonna take this stuff off. I don't want to be flipping this over and have this break. So I'm removing this, See you guys in a second. Okay, so This just came up. See? Nothing to it. When you put it back together, make sure these little prongs here, they go over top of the metal. That's what conducts electricity to so it knows what gear you're in, right? So that was pretty straightforward. Obviously this thing's gonna have to be bent back. That locks it into the gears. And then this stuff is what we took out. So this thing, see, this was just here, like this. Okay, we're moving on, hang on. Okay, so now, see there is this thing in here. So you could take this out, just so it doesn't fall out on you, that's all. See, it looks like that. There's nothing else in there, so just this thing. So take that out. Okay, now I'm gonna put it up on its side and I'm gonna remove all the bolts that hold just this top part. Because you have to remove it to be able to slide this little U thing out to get that out. Okay, I'll do that. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so as you can see, I flipped it over. I got all the bolts out except for one and the four that hold the shift solenoid block. I replaced this earlier in a different video. So that's new, so yeah, that's good. We are replacing the solenoid switch valve, guys, which, okay, anyways, so all the bolts are the exact same length. I got them all sitting there. I just got one left, but look, when I push on this, that's ready to come out. So I'm gonna flip this over, remove that one bolt, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, let's flip this back around. Okay, and we're gonna remove that one little bolt from underneath, just with my fingers. Okay, I got it. Put this back down. Now, this will separate, as you can see. Okay, there is little balls in there. I'm happy they didn't move so I can figure out where they go. Okay, hang on guys, I'll be back. Okay, so these balls, these little balls, see, that's where they go. And you can tell where they go because when this, see this sits like this and it goes on like that, you can see, look, there's 1, 2, 3, that's the spot for the 3, see? So you can see where they go. And then at the bottom, see there is a spot for it right there. So when you're putting this back on, make sure your balls sit where they're supposed to. Okay. Also, I noticed there's this little filter in here. Let me know in the comments if yours moves like that. I'm still debating on pulling this off, unscrewing all this and taking this further apart, or possibly just replacing this guy, right? So anyways, okay, I'm gonna reposition myself. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so now in order to get this thing out, see, look, there's a little horseshoe washer. So you gotta go in here like this, see? Oops, sorry, and then you push down on it. See, and it comes out the bottom. See, just like that. And then, now you'll be able to pull that out. Okay, I'm gonna try that. Okay, so on the inside here, I'm putting a little screwdriver in and I'm pushing up on it. Looks like there's more than one part to it. See, it goes all the way down to there. So as I take it out, I'm really gonna pay attention to the order of things. Okay, let's do this. Okay, there it goes. I seem to be getting the whole entire thing in one shot. See, I don't want nothing to fall. Okay, so this was first. Okay, this is second. Trying it this way. Okay guys, it is out. Okay, so I got it out. So that was at the end. And that was on the inside. That's what that looks like. Does that look like the thing in the picture? Let's find out. Okay guys, it has been about 5 hours, maybe 4 hours. I've been doing research and well, I'll show you what I've been up to. So, okay. So let's say you are gonna do this and you're gonna ream this out, which means basically you drill into it, making it bigger, and then you get the appropriate size replacement solenoid switch valve. So this whole thing. So you can get a kit. Okay, so here is a couple kits online. Let me show you. Okay guys, so I went online to look for these, and one brand, Transgo, is probably your best bet here. This is what it looks like. I went to transpartsnow.com. So here it is. Here's the 0.420 kit. Keep in mind this video might be old, so prices do change. See, they have it just online, very easy to find. And if you scroll down, see on the right there, there is the bigger size kit. So let's click on that one and see what that one looks like. See, there it is. And that is the bigger size, the 0.453. Comes with everything you need. They do have support. You might want to phone them first. Tell them what you got. Make sure you're getting the right part. Get the right support. Okay. Okay, so you've seen the kits. You can go on their websites. You know, they do help out with questions. So there it is. So you need to measure this right here. See, like that. Okay, so we got it measured. So it's hard to record this with one hand here, but anyways, so I have the 421. See, it's just over the 420. If it was that size, see, it's one of those sizes. So the bigger size would obviously be bigger. The only thing is my battery's dead on this. So it'd be like, you know, over 4.5 basically. Anyways, okay, so you would order the 420 kit or the 451 kit, depending on what size this thing is here, right? So in my case, I would order the 420 or 0.420. That's what it is. Yeah, anyways, okay. So it comes with a reamer kit, okay? And you would basically have this all apart the way we did. You could clean all this with Varsol, and you would reamer it, guys. So I'm quickly gonna show you a little video of the reamer process.
Hello, my name is Mark, and in this presentation, I'm going to highlight the switch valve repair kit for the Chrysler series transmissions. What this kit addresses is pressure switch rationality codes, torque converter clutch stuck on and stuck off, and clutch failure. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind when you're installing this kit is that the switch valve comes in 2 different diameters based on valve body, year, and model. So really what you need to do is you need to remove the OE switch valve and you need to measure the small end. So we're going to measure this one here, and it's 420 thousandths. The other size that it comes in is 453 thousandths. In the kit, you're going to get a US-made dual piloting reamer. The first pilot will pilot off the bore diameter of the valve. The second part will be the cutting edge itself. So I'm going to grab my cordless drill, and I'm going to take the reamer, and I'm going to take the collet or the chuck side and insert it 1/2 inch into the chuck. Now, we advise that when you're doing reaming, that you have some type of parts basin cleaner with the circulating cutting fluid through it. The cutting fluid that we found works best is WD-40. So I've got my valve body already in here. We've got the cutting fluid running through there, and now I'm going to ream it. And one last thing, slow, slow, slow goes the race. 1.5 inches per minute. So that means how long we need to take to bore out this bore. Okay, so now I'm bottomed out. The reamer is going to limit how far it goes in because it bottoms out on the valve bore. So now when I go to remove the reamer in the tool, I do not want to reverse the drill motor. I want to keep it going the same direction and slowly retract it. Just like that. Then of course you want to flush out any of the chips where you've bored, blow dry it, get it nice and clean, and drop your valves in. Quick and easy.
Okay, and once that's all done, obviously you would clean this perfectly. Make sure there's no metal shavings anywhere. See, and there's a stop right here. See, look. So it would go right up to that one. See, and it would ream right through, making the hole bigger. And then what you would do is you would grab your nice replacement piece here, which they do look a little bit different if you're looking online at these, and you would reassemble it back in, right? And the way you would do it is this part, see, that goes in first. So you put that in. Right? Then, you know, there's 3 of these things. So however your kit comes, you put these in properly. So I'm just putting everything back in the same way. I will show you why in a minute, guys. Just bear with me here. Boom. Then this one. I'm putting everything back the way it was. You'll understand why in a minute. So boom, right? Okay, I need my hands here. You guys get it though. That, and then this one, right? So let me put that in. Okay, so as you can see, they are all in, right? So you would have done that. Then you grab this little piece here. And that, see, that just goes in there like so. Nothing to it, right? You know, you wipe all this down. You grab all those little balls. You put them in the correct spots, just like earlier in the video. And then you put this thing on, boom. You tighten all the bolts. I can't figure out the foot pounds, sorry guys, or the inch pounds, but they're gonna be between 50 and like 100 inch pounds, right? I'm gonna say 50, 70 maybe. 70 would be good. Just put them all tight, right? Without breaking them. And that is that, guys. So I'm gonna actually do that right now because I don't want this thing to get confused about how it goes back together. But I actually am going with a different plan here, guys. So I ended up calling a local shop here in town, and look what they had. A perfectly good valve body. The guy told me the guy hit his transmission on a rock and the case cracked. So he says this valve body is perfectly good. So, you know, this thing's already in there. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to install this valve body instead of repairing this one, just because I got it. And the guy basically, He said, take it for free, try it out. If it fixes your problem, give me $100 for it. So like when I went to him with this whole setup, and I was wondering if maybe he had the reamer tool, and then I could just buy the solenoid switch valve itself and save some money on the reamer tool, which you can see is more expensive when you get that. And he basically just gave me this for free, and he said, you know what, just put that in, try it out. If it works, give me $100. If it doesn't work, either way, he's the guy I'm buying the transmission from. He has a rebuilt transmission. He's gonna sell me for $1,000. But I really wanted to do this whole, solenoid switch valve repair, guys. But I mean, you know how to do it now by watching this video. I apologize that I never ended up doing it, but I mean, if I put this in and the transmission works, chances are this was the problem. Also, another thing I noticed, guys, originally, when I pushed on this, right? I didn't have it on video, but it was like stiff. It didn't want to move at all inwards. And same thing when I was pulling it out. It was like stuck. I believe it was stuck. And this one here, see, when I push on this thing, it just went right in nice and smooth. So hopefully that is the issue, guys. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the little balls back. I am gonna reassemble this because just in case in the future I do end up doing that, I want it to be all together. And I'll show you some tips on putting this all back together, guys. And hopefully this fixes my problem of that code, guys. Solenoid switch valve. Okay, so all those Torx bolts are on. So now, right, you go like this. See this little thing? So obviously, see what you gotta do is, you gotta put this on. See these 4 little prongs here? You see those? So those need to go. See, they can't be like this. They gotta be like that. Okay, ready? So that's gonna go on, but you gotta reinstall this thing, and this, see how there's that thing sticking out of it? That's gotta go in there. Okay, so that goes in there. See that? Okay, let's put this on. This, oh yeah, see this plastic tag? So that, it's gotta go in there as well. Okay, ready? Let's put this on. Okay, perfect. Okay, now, this bolt just goes back here. So I'm gonna tighten that off camera. Sorry, I don't know the torque specs. Let's put it tight, between 50 and 100 inch-pounds. And then this thing, right? So that's just gonna go right there. See that? And then the little bolt. Pretty straightforward, guys. Oh yeah, I expect a like for this video, hopefully. Maybe even a subscription, guys. Okay, back to this thing now. Okay, so now, see? Well, I'm gonna tighten these off camera. See you guys in a minute. Okay, so I got that tightened, I got this tightened, so now all you gotta do is see this little thing here? So you gotta put it back and under first gear again and lock this in here. So you don't want this flopping around. See, this needs to go like that. See, now it's locked in. Okay, so now, I mean, you would reinstall this now, which in my case, I'm gonna reinstall the other one. Okay guys, so like I said earlier, I do have a detailed video on how to change this shift solenoid pack, right? Which, I mean, this video, like taking this out, putting this in, adding fluid, tightening all the bolts and all that, it's exactly the same. The only difference was this thing. So this is the shorter version. If you really want to see it in detail, come out and go back in, check out that video. Just hit on the playlist in the description or at the end of this video and you can find it in there. Anyways, this is the transmission fluid you need to put in there once you put it back together. In my case, I lost about 6.5 liters. So I'm putting 6.5 liters in. Put that back in, put these in. They did get mixed up, so I don't know which one goes where, but see that just goes with both the springs. See, that's gonna go there. 1, 2, and then this thing, and then this one. I do have a trick on getting these in using a wire, but if you're careful, you can just set them up like this, and you can just put them up as well. It does work. I think I'm gonna put all this together off camera, guys, right now. Fill it up with fluid, and let's go for a test drive, and let's see if the code is fixed. So I'll see you guys in about an hour when this is all put back together. Okay, guys, so as you can see, I got it back on. So the torque specs. I'm getting mixed reviews online here, but apparently these are 100 inch-pounds, all the 10 millimeters. 100 inch-pounds, maybe 105 inch-pounds from what I'm seeing online. These Torx bolts. One place is saying 50 inch-pounds, like for the solenoid, for example. One place is saying 50 inch-pounds. One place is saying 70 inch-pounds. So once again, just snug them up. And I believe the filter is 45 inch-pounds, the plastic filter. Do your own research on that, guys. But basically what you want to do is if you don't have an inch-pound torque wrench, see, don't use a big ratchet like this, because then you're not going to feel it. Use a little ratchet and just slowly tighten each one, and you feel it. You got to put them all tight, but don't break them, obviously, or over tighten them. And one at a time, a little bit more going around until you're comfortable. Okay, I'm putting on the pan, I'm putting on this, I'm filling it up with fluid, and then we're going for a test drive. Okay, there's the front. Gotta show you guys this. It could save your life. Okay, so I got this thing on. These go to 14 foot-pounds, not inch-pounds, foot-pounds, but you gotta use a small torque wrench, otherwise you'll squeeze it out on the corners. I would say even 12 foot-pounds would be good. So that's number one. And then number two, okay, I got all the plugs in, no problems. Everything's good to go here. So now what you have to do is you have to turn this back into park. Because remember, if you, this only fits one way, but if, see there's a little cutout here. And there's also a cutout on the back of that. But if you turn the key right now, the vehicle will just start to drive, and it will start because it thinks it's in park. You get it? So turn that all the way this way. So this lines up, put this on, and then when you do first start your car, make sure you're inside of it and you're pressing on the brake, guys, just in case you didn't line that up good. Also, make sure this goes down quite a bit. It does have to go down. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do that, fill it with fluid, and for real, drive time. Okay, guys, well, I reset the code, right? Check engine light came off. It is actually the next day now. I drove around all day. I went everywhere. I went on the highway. I passed people, and guess what? It is fixed. I finally fixed this problem. I'm ultra happy, guys. So, from this video, there's a few things you could do. And I do have other things that I have tried. In the description, there'll be a playlist to all the other things I tried. It could be electrical too, which I have a video on how to check your whole electrical harness for this issue. And I also changed the shift solenoid pack. I also changed that. That usually shows different codes though. And then this was the last thing. So there you go, guys. Hopefully this video helps you out. Give me a thumbs up. Check out the electrical video if this doesn't fix it. But you should do the electrical video first, actually, because that's something you can do for free. Check your harness. Thanks for watching. Till next time, everybody.
Do everything at your own risk. This is for entertainment only. Any clips from Transgo that I used was for educational purposes only. No disrespect intended.